Norman Bennett, live on Langford Road and been a resident since 1998. And you notice you haven't seen me here because I love my town, I love my country, and I've never had a problem. But after the election, when Wyndham came to my knowledge and I heard it on the radio driving in with my truck, and then started doing research, and then I started going to all the meetings and see what was going on, I became concerned. I'm here to appeal to you as my representatives to audit our vote by hand to verify that our machines did what they were supposed to do in our election. I've never questioned them. I've always put my ballot in there thinking it makes the process easier, and I was open to that. But after what we've seen, and then it caused me to do some research and find out that for years people have been crying about these machines having the potential of being defrauded. Before Congress, I mean, we've seen it's all documented, and we find ourselves in this situation that we're asking you to do these things, and I know it's uncomfortable, but I heard from my wife that there's contemplation of buying another machine. I believe you need to withhold that until such time that you audit the vote and make sure that it doesn't happen. I asked for this for 3 reasons. Number 1, LHS controls the AccuVote machines not only in New Hampshire, but all of New England. One entity controls these, and if these are not counting our ballots as citizens, then one person is swaying the decisions of all men. That's not liberty and justice for all. I'm concerned about that. When I found out that there's one organization that's controlling all of these machines, it concerns me as a citizen. Number 2, the other thing that I found was the support of outside influence, the fact that you have representatives on all sides of the parties saying that these machines can be manipulated, these machines, and there's also hackers. One of them did our audit and did nothing, and he was on record years ago saying that it can be easily hacked, and then he does the audit for the state and says there's nothing wrong here. And they told us what we were seeing rather than letting us see the facts. All we're asking for is a hand count and make sure that our ballots, as we place them in as a citizen, were counted as we put them in. That's our right. You swear a constitutional allegiance and you are to defend the right of every one of us to speak. That's our voice. That's our First Amendment right, protected by our Constitution. If our ballot goes in there, any one of them that doesn't come out properly, our voice has been taken away. And we're simply asking and appealing to you to make sure that our voices were heard, that what was tabulated in that machine was exactly what every ballot said. And once that's verified, we can have peace and assurance in our hearts that our machines are doing what they're supposed to do. If the machine is not tabulating what we put in that thing, then that machine is not worth anything and it should be thrown out. If you have a machine that doesn't do what the purpose is, there's no point in having the machine. What appalled me was Wyndham and their selectmen going right back to saying we're going to keep using the machines when there were 300 votes for 4 different candidates added on after they did a hand count. 300 votes, that's not just a couple. And that's concerning. And so as a citizen of Raymond, where I vote, where I live, I want to make sure that you make sure that these machines are working exactly as they're supposed to, and that my vote is being counted as I put it in, and that every other citizen in Raymond, their vote is being tabulated exactly as it was put in. And if we don't have that confidence, we can't go forward, because there are a growing number of us that are concerned about these voting machines. And yes, you're seeing us, because it is a serious matter, because that's our voice, that's our freedom. And we're asking you as our representatives who have sworn an oath to uphold our Constitution. One of the greatest constitutional rights we all possess is we get to vote, and we get to have our voice heard. We want to make sure it's being tabulated as we said, not as somebody wants to manipulate it. It's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not a government of a machine, by a machine, and for a machine. We want to make sure the people's voice is being heard, and that's all we're asking. Thank you.
Thank you.
Norman.
Norman Bennett.
Norman.
Norman Bennett. Langford Road.